verse 16. Ruth chapter 2, verse 16. If you can stand for the reading and reverence of God's word. For those that are able to stand, if you will. Ruth chapter 2. Verse 16. Thank God for Brother Green over there on that saxophone. I was telling Elder Corey, I'm going to learn. I'm about to go on Amazon tonight, find me a saxophone, and I'm about to start blowing and making noise until I'm going to learn me a song. Ain't going to be able to tell me nothing because I'm going to play before I preach. I'm going to play while I'm preaching. I'm going to pray after I preach. Then I'm going to pray during the altar. I'm telling you, Pastor, would you put that saxophone? First lady, will you tell Pastor to put that saxophone? I'm going to play it in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, when it's raining, when it's storming, I'm going to play it. Yeah, I just pray I found me a good deal on Amazon for my prayer. I found a good deal. Ruth chapter 2, verse 16, and it reads as this. And pull out some heads of barley from the bundles and drop them on purpose for her. Let her pick them up and don't give her a hard time. Now go to Ruth chapter 3, verse 18. Ruth 3, 18. Ruth 3, 18. Just flip over just a chapter. Then Naomi said to her, just be patient, my daughter, until we hear what happens. Get this, I love this part. The man won't rest until he has settled things today. The man won't rest until he has settled things today. I need you to turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, nothing's changed. God's not done with you yet. Come on, find your other neighbor and tell him, say, nothing has changed. God's not done with you yet. Now find somebody behind you, around you, somebody you're going to come to church with and just tell them God's not done with you yet. God's not done. God's not done. It's okay to point this time. It's this time. God's not done with you yet. God, we give you praise. God, we give you glory. God, we give you honor for who you are and what you are. You are awesome. You are magnificent. You are holy. You are righteous, God. And there's nobody like you. And we ask it all in Jesus' name we pray. And all of God's people said, amen. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. God's not done with you yet. If you've been here with the Hopewell, if you've been here with us at the well over the past couple of weeks, we've been in a preaching series entitled God's Not Done With You Yet. And we've been looking at the life of Ruth. And I'm telling you, you got to do yourself a service and go to youtube.com/HopewellND and check out the past 2 weeks. And we've been at this teaching. It is going to bless you tremendously as we've been looking at the life of Ruth and seeing how God was developing a testimony in her life. God was developing a testimony in your life. I got to recap a little bit, Hopewell, to bring those up to speed that wasn't here last week. Because listen, there's some things that goes on behind the scenes in our lives. That's why one reason why we can never be jealous of somebody else because of what they have or what they're doing or what God is doing in their life, because we don't know what has been going on behind the scenes in their life. We don't know the struggles that they've been going through. We don't know how emotionally drained they've been. We don't know how physically taxing this has been on their life. We just see the fruit of what has happened. We just see the birth of what has happened, but we don't know the story behind. We don't know the story behind what they had to go through to get to where they are right now. And that's what God does in our lives all the time. God is making a testimony in the midst of everything that we're experiencing. God is making us a living testimony to be able to go and to share with somebody else what God has done for us. But listen, let me tell you something. Before there can be a testimony, there has to be a test, oh God, and sometimes some tests. Oh, y'all don't like that S part. Y'all don't like that. The tests that we have to experience and be able to go through that authenticates our testimony, because there's nothing greater than for you to be able to stand and talk about, and not just talk about something, but to be able to know that you've experienced what you're talking about. It's something different to talk about that you knew of somebody that was healed. It's a difference in talking about knowing someone that was broke and they lost everything that they had, but it makes it even more real when you can be able to stand flat-footed and say that I was sick, but I experienced God to be my healer. I was down in the dust, but I I've experienced God being my deliverer. I was broke, but I ain't broke no more because I've experienced God being a provider in my life. Look at your neighbor one more time. I know what mother say, and you looking real cute, but ask your mother all to turn to somebody and say, he's been making a way all the way. He's been making a way all of the time. And he's making a testimony in my life. And so we left off in chapter 1 last week. And so now Ruth and Naomi, they're back at home now. And so Naomi is back. I told y'all she didn't want nobody saying her name. She didn't want nobody calling her pleasant because she's bitter because of what the hand of God has allowed to happen in her life. And so now Ruth says, you know what? I got to get up. I got to start working. I got to start doing something. I just can't sit around here and just do nothing. I know I'm cute. I know I got good hair, but I got to get up and start doing something. I have to start making a living for me and my mother-in-law. So what she does is Ruth begins to go and she begins to work in the field by a man named Boaz. Now Boaz, he is a distant relative of Ruth's father-in-law. He is what they call their kinsman redeemer. We're going to come back to that in just a second. He's called their kinsman redeemer. So she gets there. Let me read this to y'all because sometimes y'all be thinking I'm lying. So let me show you the word of God. Look at Ruth chapter 2, verse 3. Ruth chapter 2, verse 3, because she gets here. But look at this. And we've been looking at this as we've been going through Bible study in the life of Moses, journeying through the life of Moses. Right here in Ruth chapter 2, verse 3, we see the invisible hand of God that's moving on her behalf. Okay. Let me say it again. Right here in Ruth chapter 2, verse 3, we see the invisible hand of God that's working in her life. Look at it. Naomi replied, all right, my daughter, go ahead. So Ruth went out to gather grain behind the harvesters. And as it happened, she found herself working in a field that belonged to Boaz, the relative of her father-in-law, Elimelech. Listen here, saints of God. Look at me. Listen. She did not know who Boaz was. She did not know which field was Boaz and whose field was the other. She didn't know that. But from the very beginning of time, God knew where Boaz's fields was, and God arranged and ordered her steps to be able to get into the field of Boaz, the one who would be her kinsman redeemer. Okay, y'all not happy on that part? Okay, let me slow down just a little bit because I get excited. Here's what you have to realize, saints of God. God orchestrates all of our steps when we obey him. Oh God, I know his mother said, where's my church? God orchestrates all of our steps, and he divinely places us in places that we normally would not have gone on our own. But when we adhere to God and done what God told us to do, he divinely sets us up and just begin to hook us up and begin to put things in place and put people in place to be able to bless us that we weren't even aware of. Okay, y'all don't read your Bibles because I told you in Ruth chapter 1, verse 1, the Bible says that a family came in Bethlehem. Everybody say Bethlehem. A family came in Bethlehem, and the Elimelech, being a good provider and a good husband, say, you know what, it's getting rough here, it's getting tough here, Elder James. So let me take my family, get them out of here to get to a place actually where it can be more prosperous and we can have food and stuff to be able to eat. But chapter 2 says, now there was a wealthy an influential man in Bethlehem named Boaz, who was a relative of Naomi's husband, Elimelech. Now wait a minute, Pastor. You just read in chapter 1, verse 1, that there was a famine in the land, and that he had to get his family, Elder Corey, out of there because there was nothing there for them anymore. But chapter 2 says that Boaz is in Bethlehem, and he's influential. He has influence, Sister Michelle, and he's wealthy. Come on, work. Come on. Famine in chapter 1. Wealth in chapter 2. Pastor, help me understand what's happening here. Let me tell you what we do, and this is going to bless you. I'm telling you, this is going to bless y'all this whole week. This is going to bless you for the rest of 2017. Once I say this is going to bless you. Because here's what we do. When we see difficulty, or when we start to experience an inkling of pain, we're looking for the quickest exit and the quickest escape route that we can be able to take to get out, because we can't handle the pressure. But what God begins to show us between chapters 1 and chapter 2, that if we can just stay where we are just for a little while and endure the pain and endure the hardship and endure the struggle, because get this, saints of God, it is in the struggle where God is maturing your faith. It's in the struggle where God is maturing your worship. It's in the struggle where God is maturing your praise. If it had not been for the struggle in your life, you wouldn't pray the way that you pray right now. If it had not been for the struggle in your life, you wouldn't praise God the way that you praise right now. If it had not been for the struggle in your life, you wouldn't worship God the way that you do right now. I know you had reasons to be able to leave. I know you had means to be able to leave, but there was something down on the inside of you that said, let me just hold on just a little while longer and see what God is going to do in the midst of, let me just wait just for a little while and see what God is going to do. So maybe he looked his family and they left too soon, because here's the thing that I want you all to be able to get from chapters 1 and chapter 2 verse 1 is this: God will provide for you right where you are. God, I wish I had a college student that could praise God with me on that. God will provide for you right where you are. I wish I had a mother that could shout with me. God will provide for you right where you are. God will make a way for you right where you are. God will open doors for you right where you are. God will give you favor right where you are. God will do the impossible in your life right where you are. But here's the kicker, saints of God. When pain comes, don't be so quick to exit, because it is through that pain where sometimes can birth your greatest blessing. All right, I don't have a church with me. Let me go ahead and keep going. So she's there, she comes in contact. God is moving on her behalf. His invisible hand is moving on her behalf. And she gets there in the field of Boaz. Now, Boaz finds out about Ruth. He finds out about Ruth, and he starts asking questions. Who is this? He said, who is this woman? Who is this woman that's leaning in my field? I said, oh man, you know that's Naomi daughter-in-law. She had the opportunity to be able to leave, but she was so loyal to her mother-in-law that she stayed right there with her. Naomi told her, listen, go away so that she can be able to find you a husband and have some more kids. But she said, no, your God will be my God. When you die, I'll die. I'm going to stick with you all the way until death. So he found out about her character and her reputation. And then he went on to say, because you have to understand this, the law says over in Leviticus, law said for harvesters that when they were out there gleaning their field was that if they put out a little bit more extra, just to leave it there, because that was to be of a help to those who were struggling, those who was poor, those who didn't have anything. Leave that there so that they can be able to pick up something as well. So he talks to Ruth. He begins to build a rapport and a relationship with her, and he tells her, he said, listen, you don't have to go anywhere else. Everything you need, I'm paraphrasing now, everything you need is going to be right here. Everything that you're looking for, I'm going to make sure that you have everything that you need. Now, let me back up a little bit. Ruth and Naomi come back to where they are. Okay. Now they're having to start from the ground up. They ain't got nothing. They don't have anything. Everything they had is gone. Everything that was familiar is now unfamiliar. So now they're having to rebuild their life off of the broken pieces, off of the grief, off of everything that they've been experiencing. Now they're having to start their life all over again. Let me go ahead and just say this real quick, saints of God. We have to be so mindful. We have to be so mindful that we have to be so mindful that we never get to the place that we neglect where God has us. That we never get to the place that we neglect where we've been and the experience that we had. Because why? All of that God wants to use to be able to work it together for our good. But here's the thing, it lays the foundation for us in our lives so that we have something to be able to build upon, to be able to build off of the shambles and the broken pieces in our life. Ruth is having to start all over again. She's in an unfamiliar place. Unfamiliar place, though. She's around people that worship God and have a relationship with God. She's a Moabite. She don't worship God. They were told, listen, you have nothing to do with these Moabites. So now she is being introduced to favor in her life. Why? Because of her connection with Naomi.
Yeah. Come on.
She's a foreigner, Elder Eli, that's coming in. She's a new kid on the block that's coming in. And they know about her. They know that she was one that did not have a relationship with God. But she is reaping some benefits in her life because of the connection that she had through Naomi. Pastor, what are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying? I'm saying this, saints of God, that God will sometimes allow us to experience divine favor and connection about those that He placed around us in our lives that have a tight relationship with God, that have favor with God. And when we make connections with them, that what they're experiencing in their life, we will be benefactors of it as well.
Okay. Thank you, Lord.
So she's there. Having to start life all over again, having to rebuild life all over again. And Boaz says this in verse 16. He says this in verse 16. He says, and pull out all the heads of the barley from the bundles and drop them off on purpose for her. Let her pick them up and don't give her a hard time. Don't give her a hard time. Boaz is setting things up for Ruth. He's setting things up for her. Why? Because there's something about her. There's something that's on her life. There's something about her that attracts Boaz that says, you know what? I don't even know this woman, but I want to bless her. I don't even have a relationship with her, but there's something about her that I just feel compelled that I need to make sure that I let my guys know that yes, she's a new person. Yes, she hasn't been in our field before, but I need you to drop some stuff on purpose so to remind her and to remind her mother-in-law that God has not forgotten about them. Isn't it good news to know that God every now and then will allow some people to come and bless you and may not even realize why they're blessing you, but it's God's way of showing you to remind you that I have not forgotten about you. God will work through people. God will work through those that don't like you. God will work through those who you don't like to be able to get His point across that I have not forgotten about you. I've seen everything that you've experienced. I've seen everything that you've gone through. I've seen the heartache, but I've also seen your faith and how your faith has kept on ticking. I've also seen your praise, how you continue to praise me no matter what. I've also seen your worship. I've also seen your giving. I've also seen how in the midst of everything that you've experienced, you could have gave up, but you didn't. And He uses Boaz as a sample to remind her, I ain't forgot about you. I haven't forgotten about what I said about your life. I have not forgotten that I told you that I would provide for you, that I will make ways for you, that I will open up doors for you. I have not forgotten anything I've said concerning your life. But here's the thing, saints of God, I shared this last Monday on the prayer call, that this is not the time, this is not the season for us to lose our faith in God. I know you may be experiencing some tough stuff right now, but this is not the moment for you to give up on God. This is not the moment for you to throw in the towel and say, God, I've had enough. That's it. I quit. I know you've been getting denial after denial. I know you've been getting more closed doors than you have open doors. I know you keep getting rejection letters for schools that you're applying for grad school. But if you continue to hold on and keep the faith, I'm telling you, God is working behind the scenes. God is pulling some things together. God is working some things out on your behalf. Sooner or later, God's going to turn this thing around for your good. But you have to hold on. Turn to your neighbor and say, you're going to hold on. Because this is not the season for you to lose your faith. This is not the moment for you to call the quits on God. This is not the moment faith to be tested in God and say, God, once I get through this, the testimony I'm going to have, God, once I make it through this season, God, the story I'm going to have, God, once I get through this moment, the book I'm going to write, God, once I get through this tough time, the praise that's going to come forth, God, once I get through this.
Thank you, Jesus.
So, Boaz says, I want to bless this woman on purpose. Don't bother her. I know she ain't my wife yet. I know I'm not even thinking about having a relationship with her right now, but there's something about her that I want to bless her, that I must bless her, that I must do something for her, because here's what he's doing. He's being just what his title is, a kinsman redeemer. Kinsman redeemer is a relative who restores or preserves the full rights of disadvantaged family members. A kinsman redeemer is a relative who restores or preserves the full rights of disadvantaged family members. So his job was to be able to go back and to restore and to reclaim back the land that they once had so that they could be able to have it again. His job was to be able to go and to preserve those things that once was theirs, to be able to hold on until they were able to have it. So he walks in their life at the right time, at the right moment, at the right season, to let them know God is not done with you yet.
Thank you, God.
Out of everything they had to experience, after everything that they had to endure, the grief, the loss, the readjustment to a new way of living, for Ruth being able to go to new territory and having to build new relationships, meaning that I have to learn how to trust again. I got to learn how to trust new faces again. All to get to this point, for her to get to this field and to see and to experience the supernatural provision of God in her life. Everything she went through, everything she experienced, added to the testimony that she had. Because while she found and experienced God in a new way that she had never seen or experienced him before. And God used an individual. God used a person who was willing to obey. So that God can be able to work through them to be able to bless Ruth and Naomi. God has not forgotten about you. And God's not done with you yet. What if Ruth has said, forget it, I'm done. Naomi ain't going with you, ain't going with nobody. I do my own thing. She would have missed out on the supernatural provision of God. Because she wouldn't have gone to Boaz's field on her own. She would have went somewhere else. God demonstrated and showed her that where I send you, I will provide for you. I will take care of you. I will make sure that you have everything that you need. Don't forget, wherever you go, make sure it's God that's sending you there. Because where he sends you, he's going to make a way for you. Where he sends you, he's going to protect you, because her being in Boaz's field did not just bring provision, but it also brought protection. Because, listen, when these young ladies was going to tell the fellas, I'm going to tell them other jokers to back up and stay away from you.
Yes, yes.
Provision and protection came her way. Why? Because she allowed God to order her steps.
Yeah.
When she didn't even realize God was ordering her steps, all she was doing was following after Naomi. But because Naomi followed after God, and she followed behind Naomi, she reaped the blessings. Now, that's a whole other lesson in by itself. When you follow a fool, you're going to get foolish stuff. But when you follow wisdom, you'll get some wise things. All of this, God shows his hand.
Yeah.
And Ruth isn't the only one. All of us in this room have seen the invisible hand of God surface in our lives. Now listen, I always ask those who come to the new membership class, I ask where they're from. Oh, I'm from Baltimore, I'm from Michigan. And I ask, how in the world did you end up in Carbondale? They thought they were coming just to get an education. They thought they were just coming, Mr. Eli, because of a job relocation.
Yeah.
But had no idea that they were going to experience firsthand the invisible, supernatural hand of God moving in their life. Set things in order, put things in place. To remind them that even if you happen to build off of broken pieces in your life, that I am the restorer of life.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Lord Jesus.
I'm the one that gives new life. I'm the one that creates life. So no matter what season you may be experiencing right now, don't lose your faith in God. If God said it, he's going to do it. If God said it, he's going to bring it to pass. I know it may not be on the time frame that I know you was hoping he was going to do it by now. It's been 20 years later. If God said it,
Yeah.
he's going to fulfill every promise
That's right.
that he's spoken over your life. And this word is just to remind you that he ain't done with you yet, and he hasn't forgotten about you. Come on, to put those hands together. Give God praise. Come on, he's not done with you yet. There may be someone here today